Well, how nice is it outside, Keith? Here
Yes.
today at the races with Keith Fustel, of course. Let's go ahead and take right away a look at the track of what we have going on throughout the 9 race card today. Of course, the track is fast and the turf is firm, Keith.
Yeah, Friday fun day right here at
Oh,
Laurel
love it.
Park. Yeah, going to get a partly sunny. Maybe some lingering, I should say, some threatening showers. Maybe later. Hopefully it's after the car.
It's not your problem.
No, but right now
You're
it's
outside
gorgeous.
right now.
Look at this. I mean, it's a beautiful day. If you can come out, again, we emphasize it. Please come out and get out here. Get out on the apron. Get yourself a cocktail, something to eat, and enjoy
Sure.
this live racing card. And you don't need a whole lot, to turn it into a lot here. You just need a little luck. And yesterday, man,
Yes.
I stunk. I really like
So
some
did I.
horses. And I just couldn't get them to follow through. But
Sure.
it's going to be that,
It's that
like
weekend.
this.
It's that type of weekend.
Yeah,
it's that time of year as well, Keith. So don't be too
Yeah,
hard on yourself. I
these-
know it's your favorite thing to do.
These cards are tough though.
Tricky.
I mean,
They're tricky.
they are challenging.
Like I said, we had a $27. We ended the day with a $27.20 winner. 13.40 in between that. Started off your early pick 4 with a $34.80 winner with Disputed Notion. So let's see.
Yeah. What today brings, it could bring more of the same. We had a
Exactly.
$14,000 early pick 5, Callie. I think getting like a $4,000. I mean,
Yep.
late pick 5, these pick 5s are juicy. And yeah, Disputed Notion, a good ride. Kind of worked through some traffic late to get up for a good number there. And I'm really upset. The last race, that last winner was very, very havable at a big number. Daniel McKenzie, smaller stable, has done a very good job. And that horse has just improved every race since being in
Sure.
that barn. Yep.
Sure. Let's go ahead and
All right.
see how. Let's see how we can pick apart and finagle through this card early on. Starting off early pick 5 and a claiming 10,000 for the 3-year-olds and up, which have never won 3. 7 furlongs on the dirt makes it interesting. Scratching the number 3, King of Chaos. Keith, you go with Captain Cardo, maybe hitting the right distance today for Corrales and Dennis Arujo.
Yeah, you must have been looking at my notes. You've got that camera set up above my little desk there at the house.
How'd you know?
I know. Yeah, and I said it just kind of might fit right perfectly, the 7/8 between that 6 furlong and the mile of the last couple, Callie. And yeah, didn't get a lot of flow last time out at the mile distance. And also, if you look at the conditions of the last, 5,000 looks like it's a real race. That was a 5,000, 1 in 6 months or 4 in life. Little easier competition, I believe. Some of the flow comes out with King of Chaos. Not necessarily like a slam dunk top pick, but man, Exactus tries. I think you got to give Captain Cardo some consideration. I really like the 2-back try at 6, just ran out of ground there late. So I think that's a user. I think Shack in the Box, you've got Forrest Boyce coming back, and I think that bodes well. Didn't really pick up his feet last time out, but a very wide trip at Timonium that day was claimed. Still churned on, and I think against an okay group. I think 7/8 as well has a chance to kind of draft in a position. He's got enough positional speed here, I think, to be within a couple lengths by the time they turn for him. And Pudge Boy Palace is a horse I think gets relief. William Humphrey here for the ride. This horse gets that outer post, but can spy anything inside. Island Delight, a first-time gelding for Kieran, going to be part of that. I think Pressing Concern will likely go from the inside, but definitely softer flow I expected earlier. This one's going to stay around a little bit longer, I think, on the drop for Hugh McMahon. You've got the 4 on top on the first gelding angle, possibly.
I do, and
Yeah.
I take that first gelding angle. I take a first in the barn for Kieran McGee as well.
Yep.
Of course, I'm not one to throw away a race, but with the leaning in, the brushing, getting tired, you have to think that this is something that McGee kind of excels at. So this is as far as kind of finagling with horses at this type of level and tweaking things to make a better performance.
First time gelding. There's an angle. I was talking to Rodman. He was looking at the Stats Race Lens up there earlier. 17% with a positive ROI for this move. First time gelding for Kieran McGee. And you're right. This is the only 3-time winner in this race.
There we
Tough
have
little
it.
opener.
A tough little opener. We both try and give you a little bit of value other than the 9 to 5 morning line, who's currently 9 to 5 again right now. But 8, 6, 7, 2, we try and give you a little bit of value in this race to kick off the early pick 5. Now let's kick off the early pick 4. Let's see what you got for us, Keith, as far as your ticket goes.
You know, these things are just ugh.
Brutal.
just racking my brain. You know, I inadvertently, I didn't send in an early ticket. You know,
I know, I was jealous.
And the people are probably thanking me. Man, Keith, why didn't you just not have that ticket? We're going to give you another shot, though, for a $30 play here.
Did you? I mean, at first I thought you didn't send an early pick 4 because you were going to do my pick 6 for me, and I was very thankful for that.
I was just depressed. 1, 4, 7, 9, 11 to get you started in race 2. Race 3, 1 and 7. His name and Sue Not Away. Those two are going to be out there winging. They might stay around. Race 4, 3, 7, and 10, and then wrap it up in the 5th with the 1A, Shane's Jewel, and the 8. A couple scratches in there. That other part of the entry comes out. The 1, Sage. Take out the 2 and the 3. There's a $30 ticket to kind of get you started. I just think these things, they're exceptionally tough. And man, but all you got to do is hit one, and one will carry you a while.
Absolutely. There we go. $30 ticket for Keith Fustel starts in this maiden special weight, a mile and 16th on the turf for this 2-year-old fillies, scratching the 8, 10, 12, and 13. Keith, you have the number 1. The inside victory badge for Mike Trombetta, Forest Boyce. You have a bit of a Forest Boyce day today, don't you?
Forrest's a good rider.
Yeah.
I mean, no doubt about it.
It's just the way your day lined up, too.
Yeah, it is. It is the way it lines up. And you know, it's a rider I can trust year in and year out. I know I'm going to get, you know, a trip. Yeah, she's going to do her best to work out the right trip around there. And that's what I have faith in. And I respect everything that she's done on this racetrack for a long, long time. Still a very, very good job. But Trombetta, he's back. 2 wins yesterday, right? A little bit of a lull. Victory badge has the route experience, as does the 11 who draws in. Don't forget about that, the motion. But I think Victory Badge just last time was a victim of just a little bit of a slower flow. Those two 1-2 finishers were Delacour runners. They got in their own little match race from the quarter pole home. This one kept on willingly. And out of that 2-back race at Saratoga with a little bit of trouble, the overland trip after the break, that's turned out to be a pretty strong race. 6th place finishers come back to win 2 straight, including a grade 2. I think it was a just Donna Keeneland.
Wow, there we have it. So I just had that one ticked off my ticket, but there we have it, victory badge. I like that, especially if you can get anywhere near 4 to 1 on that. Absolutely worth the value. Let's go to that AE drawn in the number 11. Scrolled right past in race number 2, race number 3. Super Not Coca for Graham Motion. Kevin Gomez gets the call on this one from that Kentucky race.
Yeah, I mean, again, they thought route all along. The Catholic boys have done a little bit better with the routers on the turf. We've got another one here, the 9 I'll talk about shortly. But, yeah, another one. 2 trouble trips early with the brakes. Off slow and debut at Colonial. Shuffled at the break, but trying each effort. I like to try down at Colonial, maybe even a little bit better. From looking from a key horse standpoint, that 4th place finisher, Yada, another motion horse, has come back to run well. 1 at Kentucky Downs and then a 3rd in the Salima. So you've got the 1 and 11, you know, showing the ability to handle a route of ground for these 2-year-old fillies. They've run against the right guy. Now, does anybody pop up? You've got a Chad Brown firster right into the mix. Chad Brown, I looked all the way back. I haven't seen him run a firster here in at least 5 years, and maybe never. I'm not sure, but it's been a long, long time.
And he's been entering with that scratching, so today we kind of see a little bit of that.
So your 4, I'm going to give a little look. The Oscar performance is good. 15% first-time starters, 15% turf routes. Second dam was grade 3 stakes place. Now let's come back to my 9 real quick. You've got it in the mix as well. Star Cry by Catholic Boy. Bottom side, Broke Maiden, the Cry Hallelujah on the turf, going long at Santa Anita. This horse was part and moved into a very, very fast pace. Strong number for the winner at Colonial, a 70 buyer. That's big. Horses come out of there. It's a key kind of a race for me. I think this horse is going to relax a little bit better towards the front and have a finish, as well as the 7, Fondre, the DeMar Chalet here for Delacour. We talked about him sprint to route, right, with these turfers. He's just been absolutely deadly. Back with the girls today. Ran very well in an open race down at Colonial. Yeah, there you go.
Slew of talent there for those 2-year-old fillies, potentially.
Fun race to see what potential we've got for these runners moving forward.
So fun to see as Keith Fustel goes 1:11.97 there in race number 2. Race number 3 is a claiming 8,000, going 5.5 on the dirt for the 3-year-olds and up. Keith, you have the number 1 and 5. You go 1-7-5-2. Let's talk about the 7 for a second. In Not Away, this is your 8 to 5 morning line. Jamie Ness, Jamie Rodriguez just missed out in that last effort at Delaware.
Yeah, drops down, and he's fast. He's real quick, and I mean, and if he's the speed of the speed today, which he could be, it clears. just could be gone on the drop here. An aggressive move for Ness, a horse that's run well over this racetrack in the past as well. Claimed several races back. But his name is Sue. I like the form that he's had here for Hugh McMahon. Hugh McMahon batting 26% the last 70, 80 days, 90 days. But I tell you, this one is versatile. Yes, I like the way it got the lead at 6, took advantage of that kind of field last time. I don't know if he's quite as fast, but he's got the speed at 5.5, a little shorter run in the turn to get Poe, maybe ease back off of Nottoway and make another bid, just kind of like we saw in that Charge to Victory race July the 15th, where he just kept beat there in those coming on late in that starter. So I think these are the two. I think they have a flow advantage in this race. It'll separate, I think, by the quarter pole. Who's going to rally into it? I believe it's going to be Savoy. Let's look at the video if we've got it, right?
As you mentioned, as you mentioned, your top selection, his name is Sue Savoy. We're going to take a look at that last effort from the 1st of October.
Yeah, and this is it. I mean, Alvelo did the right thing, right to the front, was nursed along early, kind of got it off the inside to get it done. Holds sway, opens up like 4, mid-stretch. But I tell you what, look at Savoy here. Like, Savoy kind of between horses around the turn, works outward through the stretch and really brings a good run. I always think he might be a little bit better on the slot, but he's showing the ability to handle fast track, mud track. Doesn't matter if his name is Sue and Nottoway really hook up in a spirited duel past the 3/8 to the quarter pole. This is the one that's going to benefit along with the 2 Spitball.
1752 for Keith Fusel there in race number 3. Race number 4 kicks off the Rainbow Pick 6. We have a little bit of a carryover, touch of a carryover from yesterday, and of course that will well be on its way to 11 grand and up by the time we get to race number 4. Taking a look at my ticket really quick, I have a bit of a doozy ticket.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah, so
I hear you.
Okay, I feel justified now. Thank you. So 6 wide in race number 4, because why not? And then I had to go with 2 singles on this ticket. Again, guys, I'm just trying to give you a bit of my best way to navigate these races. Take the singles, just take these races however way you look at them. This is just the structure that I see, so I go with Shane's Jewel. This is the decoupled entry for Jamie Ness. Race number 6, maiden special weight 148. You and I both go with the number 8 Watchtower for Chad Brown. We'll get into that one in a second, but I just add the 1 and the 4, just a touch of insurance underneath, but if I could single, maybe I could possibly also single in on the number 8. That's how much I like the 8. But race number 7, go 259, classier Sir Alfred James, and wonder where Craig is. I'm wondering if he's going to be coming back today. And then race number 8, another single on the number 7, Calming Storm. You have a video spotlight coming up on that one. And then 136 in race number 9, a $32.40 ticket. I try and keep these as cheap as I can, but race number 4, what a doozy. I had to go 6 wide. I just looked at the race and my eyes, it's kind of like when I go to a restaurant, my eyes get bigger than my stomach, and I just saw a lot of possibilities there. So Keith, ironically enough, you and I this is a claiming 40,000, a mile and 16th for the girls 3 and up. Scratch the number 8 in MTO and Rousey's Express. We're taking a look right now at More Than Glory for Jamie Ness, Jamie Rodriguez last time out.
Yeah, at Ellis Park. Wasn't the strongest group, but this was a strong effort. Got in a little bit of a jackpot. You see the 2 horse going into the far turn, leaving the far turn, had to steady, got shuffled back, and is able to regroup and works outward in the lane. There you go, guys. Thank you. Highlighted there at the 3/16 pole is going to work outward and really brings a determined run. A little bit of a bump up there now to the 43 in life for 3-year-olds. But I tell you what, she just might be getting better. An improving 3-year-old here later in the year. She's going to have to step her game up just a little bit more. I went back and looked at the Fairgrounds debut in February. That was an okay field. Horses have come out of there and run credibly. So I gave that some extra note there. Ness, yes, not the highest percentage we think in Ness off the claim with his turfers, but I'm going to trust. He had a horse just missing a big price yesterday that I was wondering why was he running right back. Eldest Son. Sure. I'm not going to let this one beat me. 8-1 on the morning line. We'll take a shot right back with More Than Glory, but this is a race with lots of options. I think Diva Reddy and Karina, who come out of the same race, that was that allowance race on October the 1st. Both of them had a little trouble. Diva Ready might have had the most uncomfortable trip because she was caught in between horses a long, long way, had to tap the brakes at the 3/8, but Caramanos did a good job of getting her back together. She switched out and she really finished well. Yeah. Karina, another one, was kind of sitting there behind horses, tapped the brakes 3/8. Held behind horses maybe a little bit longer than I thought the jock was going to, but once got outside, really flew home. This extra 16th of a mile, I think, is fine for both the 7 Diva Ready and the 10 Karina. Oleksava, the 11. Yeah, okay, I'll let you go. Another one off the marathon type of races, big distance races, a turn back here, but certainly class, slight class relief. There you go. Lots of ways to go on the 4. I think the road's going to kind of go through this Gateway Palace, right? It'll look like the speed horse in here. Yeah, I think this horse could be dangerous, could go a long way at a big, big price.
As you said, a lot of options, but Keith and I see it similarly. Keith going 3, 10, 7, 11 there in race number 4. Race number 5, rounding out our early pick 4 is race number 5, a mile and 16th dirt affair for the 3-year-olds, end up at this claiming 5,000, which have never won 4 scratch. The 1, a coupled entry in Seiche. The 2, Lokoya Road. 3, Unequivocal. And the 6, Super Royal Moon, who was originally my top selection. But Keith, you go with the number 8 on top. This is Galatians for Mary Epler, Horacio Caramanos. Let's go ahead and take a rewind on the clock back in April.
Yeah, April the 2nd, over this racetrack, the same distance, a mile and a 16th. Gets the condition back, right? This is, well, that was I have to go back and double check. That might have been a 1 in 6 months. 4 like, but anyhow.
Usually,
when I'm seeing those horses behind the channel, I thought they've had a little bit more. But this horse just
so.
really gallops. Had to sit there, a weighted room quarter pole, split rivals, and just ran off is much the best. Back to the correct level today. Ease late protect, so I'm not really concerned about the beaten lengths in that last race. I think this company is going to suit him just fine. He might need a little help up front because Shane's Jewel, he's dropping. It's been a long time. He's only had 1 win. I'm thinking about it. I thought he had more wins. Only 1 win in the last 2 years. If Honor the Fleet can't push him, he could be very difficult to catch. But I think Galatians are going to like this little relief here today. 8-1-8-4-9 in the 5th.
And we will be right back after this commercial break to talk about the rest of Friday's card.
And they're off.
And we're back with a big one here in race number 6, of course, kicking also off the late pick 4 and the jackpot. $6 grand straight for that carryover pool coming in today's 6th race. And so plenty to prove in here. We don't, just scratching the MTOs in 11, 12, and 13. I think those are confirmed at 11 o'clock. But this is a maiden special weight, a mile and 16th on the turf for the straight 2-year-old fillies. You and I both have the number 8 Watchtower for Chad Brown for his Boyce. You also have just taking a look at that stat of Chad Brown.
Yeah, pretty strong. Like I said, I guess we're maybe going to see some of these Chad Brown runners make their way down. He's got a lot of horses, run a few right up at Monmouth. See how this, weather and turf course, keeps going. Hopefully carries on for a while, and we see some of these runners come down. But yeah, the last 3 years, 13 of 44, 30%, 27 44 in the money. 2-year-old maidens turf routes, 2nd career start with an ROI close to $3. Yeah, and an okay try. Bet down in a bigger field of 12 at Kentucky Downs. Also a tricky course to navigate for some of these horses, especially I'm sure the younger ones. Mare was good, 8 for 9 in the money on the turf. That stat sticks out. Class, everything again that horse faced last time, I think works today. And there you go, Forest Boyce again. So come on, Forest, let's have a big day today. Watchtower, I think we'll handle this distance and get it done against this field. The other one you look at from the rail, the other Chad Brown firster, certainly bred to run all day. So I think it's hard to leave any of these out in the exacta. Parish Lane, who you've got in the mix, Cal, do you want to talk about this one, or do you want me to kind of roll with it?
Roll with it a little bit because I want your take.
Yeah, Justify is very good, 23% the first time out. Now, Matt's been a little bit better with these older firsters going along. We talked about that the other day. This is an extremely strong family. They've won early.
Yes.
Master of Hounds, Stolen Holiday, multiple graded stakes types in here. So this one, really, when you're looking at this Chestnut Filly with Barbosa, could be any count.
Yes,
yeah.
Have to Minurette, Belmont Oaks, Grade 1 stakes winner back in 2014. So this field has 2 Chad Brown starters, but this field certainly packs a punch in Paris Lane as well. You also go with the number 6 and active for Graham Motion. Kevin Gomez is set. Here we go. This is where Graham Motion starts to get things stirring around with these second-time turf starters, Keith.
Yeah, second, third, a little bit of experience, and they just get better and better. And you know, I'll give this one a pass on a little bit of a softer turf course at Delaware, evenly towards the back of the pack. Gunrunners still haven't really kind of caught fire when you're looking at the turf stats. But this one, well, what do you have on that one?
I have 8 for 46 second-time turf starters. That's 17%.
Oh, see, that's perfect. I love it.
But you saw that coming. You were about to say the Gunrunners are slow right
now,
but they're going to be there.
Yeah, 12% early. But anyhow, overall, this is a half to Naval Empire, who won for Mike Trump out of the Blinkers, won and galloped in an allowance and then ran a good second the other day in the Maryland Million Ladies. So expect improvement for this second time out.
Okay, we could dive into the field a little bit more, but we'll just keep it at that. For 8-4-6-1 for Keith Fustel in that jackpot. Remember, a 6 or grand carryover coming into race number 6. Race number 7 is an allowance, a 5.5 on the dirt affair for the 3-year-olds and up. Scratch in the 1A stage, left coupled entry for David Jacobson. The 3 back in the woods, the 6 Blessed Arion, and the 7 Super Chow. You go with the number 4, Factor It In, and I love this. Carlos Mancia, Angel Cruz. Let's take a look at that effort 2 back before the layoff.
Mancia Barn doing very good work, and they're winning races right now. This is a race on the 19th of March. Now, the only negative you could really say is this horse did run with the flow of the racetrack. It was kind of a high and wide kind of a day. You see always in a hurry, kind of looping and making that run. And just to the inside, Sir Alfred James, who ran very strong inside, maybe not even on the best part of the racetrack, but factored in when he's right, he's really good. He's 9 for 15 at Laurel, no seconds, no thirds. So hence, he's either all or nothing for me. He's going to get it done. A little birdie whispered to me up in Greenmount that this horse is feeling pretty good. So I think he can kind of draft into position and bring a finish here off a little bit of a break. And he's been proven. He's won a couple times off of these longer freshenings. He works for me today. Factor it in.
Okay.
What do we got on the morning line? About 4. Okay.
About 4. Yep. So let's see what taste. Was it Dave?
No, it wasn't Tasty Cake Dave.
Okay, you also go with the number 9, Wonder Where Craig is, and you're exacta as I do as well. For Brittany, switch over to Javian today. But Javian has the back in the fire plug back of last year. That garnered some success. We'll see if that can happen again today.
Yeah, he gets a little bit of help with Back in the Woods out, Super Chow out, 2 horses that I thought would be fairly forward in here. But when he wants to go, he can really go. He's back on Lasix today. You know, I know that, you know, we've got this whole conversation with on Lasix. Oh, it's troublesome. It's tough for a gambler. You know, we're trying to gauge, you know, how these horses are reacting back and forth. This one here has some bigger numbers. He's going to be hard sent out here. Izzy, you know, who he once was, maybe he's not quite, but I think he stays longer today than what he did over at Pimlico, no doubt about it. Horse 2 is inside's good. I don't even have him to mix the 8, but Sir Wellington's a really good horse as well. So I go 4-9, and classier. Had to tap the brakes a little bit last time. Was taken under rating inside. Loom looked like he was a stone cold winner coming to the quarter pole. But there's Sir Alfred James again, a horse that can adapt to any situation. Those 2 very close, very difficult to separate. I will be keying on the 4 factor in.
4925 for Keith Fusel there in race number 7. Race number 8 is a restricted allowance going short on the turf for the 3-year-olds and up. Keith, you have the number 2 on top. I love this take. I have this one underneath in Heldish. This is for Mike Trombetta. Victor Carrasco, a first-time gelding effort.
I think it's an interesting move. This horse is,
I think it's great.
Parts. Yeah, $75,000 claim. Never tried turf. When I first glanced at the mare, I thought it was like a Kate DeMasi horse that was turf. It's not. And then I kind of threw me for a little bit of a loop, and I looked a little bit deeper. I couldn't find like a slew of turf.
Neither could I.
And that's the thing. But I'm thinking, okay, Mike, you got it back rolling now. I got to trust in you with these turf horses. He's been very good year in and year out with the turf sprinters. Heldish looks to be a different horse right now. The works, you know, they appear forward, some bullets up there at Phil Hill.
Yes.
I just think this is, you know, at the price that I think we might get, has a chance to kind of just catch this right kind of field for the first level state-bred state sire. I think this horse has positional speed. He's going to jump up, maybe an all or nothing turn. If he takes to it and they think maybe he's got the turf foot or whatever,
That's
I think
right
I think he's going to run really big. So there you go, a little bit of a hunch. Heldish. Calming Storm ran great last time. Robbie and company have done a really good job because this horse had a lot of issues coming out of the gate. They've obviously, him and all the guys on the gate, the whole crew, unsung heroes that work with these horses each morning, got him straight. He broke well. He ran really big. We knew the family, Jazzy Idea, that whole family underneath have been proven on the turf. This one runs a big one. It's just, man, I hate to show this again because this was such a gut-wrenching beat. Really looks home here. And John Hall is going to kind of knife his way through and get up just at the bob. But Calming Storm, right back again. If he breaks like they've got him straight, he's going to be really tough to road. I think we'll go through him again. He'll target some speed. There's maybe a little bit more speed in here in this race, but I think he's poised for another big effort. 2-7, 3-4. Good afternoon, Oscar. There's Mancy again. I did look. Some of these opportunities, Cal, they've been okay sprinting on the turf. Great Bulls of Fire, 007, they ran okay. That's the family of Good Afternoon, Oscar. So I wouldn't completely dismiss that one, in the 4 energy efficient to make that run from the back.
2-7-3-4 for Keith Fusel there in the penultimate. Now we get to the finale here in race number 9. This is a maiden claiming 45. 3/4 of a mile on the dirt for the 3, 4, and 5-year-olds. Keith, you go with the number 1, the Rail Horse and Super Bourbon, first-time starter for Brittany Russell. Gets it JV and Toledo.
Yeah. Big field, better come out rocking and rolling. Super Saver, about 10% with the first-time starters. The mare, this is the first foal. Mare won the debut, first foal to race, I should say, out of this mare. Was very quick, ran 4.5 at Mama, showed a good burst of speed. 45,000. I mean, that's a fairly big price. I thought when I was looking through everything, could be a looker here. Obviously, the barn does very well with the 3-year-old first-time starters. 16 for 48, 33%, 29 for 48 in the money. You bump it up into that protect range, maiden special weight, or kind of the protected with the waiver, it goes up to 36% for this barn. But there's some other horses that have had some trouble of recent note. The 3 and the 10, they come out of the same race. A few horses coming out of this race on September the 30th. Let's go to the video because we're going to see both of these. Catching Stars and Margie's Fun Son and a couple other ones. Margie's Fun Son is the 5, mid-turn. Behind that one, it's going to be probably our highlight horse, Catching Stars. Both of these horses getting a little bit of trouble. Actually, Margie's Fun Son had to tap the brakes earlier as well. But look at this from the 3/16. Margie's Fun Son scrapes the paint, has to work through a really tight spot. And there's Catching Stars, just really nowhere to go, locked in. Another day awaits here, shifts down. Margie's Fun Son, I know kept on pretty good. You know, didn't have a comfortable trip. These two are very difficult to separate for me. I think they rally into it. And I like the fact that the 3 showed a little bit more positional speed last time out. I know we're running a little short on time. 1-3, 10-7. It's been a fun card, Callie.
It is super fun card. Glad we got to pick it apart. You got to pick it apart. Definitely loved your takes on everything. Let's head over to Lightning Round and dive into those takes a little bit more. Of course, starting with the best bet, race number 6, the number 8 Watchtower for Chad Brown and of course Boyce.
Chad Brown, he lives for these kind of races, right? 2-year-old second out, going long on the turf. Hits at a 30% strike rate, 290 ROI. I thought ran credible down at Kentucky Downs. I think it's going to like what she gets. The daughter of DeMar Chalet, our man Skippy's stallion to watch. I think this one's going to be tough to get.
And, of course, let's talk about your value play in Heldish. First time gelding for Mike Trombetta and Victor Carrasco. And first time, not the first time turf, but interesting take on it.
You reach in for 75, you geld, you want to win, right? Looks like he's working forward. I think he catches the right kind of group. If he takes to the turf, I think he's right there at the wire at a square price. Also like Calming Storm in there too.
And just wanted to touch on just a couple of numbers are in on the Maryland sired full production. It shows a tick of an increase for 2022 as far as just giving you some quick numbers. Engage with 47, Divining Rod with 45, Opportunity with 39, as well as Irish War Cry. Uncle Lena with 35, Golden Lad with 30, Great Notion with 25, and Long River with 23, of course. So while there was a little bit of decline, Maryland just had a little bit of a bump up from the year prior. So there we have it. And of course, we'll head on over to Dave Rodman for some more changes and scratches for this Friday Fun Day card.
You got it. Enjoy it, everybody. Get outside and enjoy this weather right now.